Some people are going to have to be okay with the fact that Modern Warfare is going to be a campier Call of Duty game. A long time yet forgotten staple of the Call of Duty franchise is that each one of them plays like Call of Duty, but each one of them play differently. Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 2 didn't play the same, Modern Warfare 2 and 3 didn't play the same, Ghosts and Black Ops 2 didn't play the same, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare didn't all play the same. Now, some of the games I just mentioned are more similar to each other than they are other games in the franchise. All I'm saying is that they're different. Average weapon rate of fire, recoil, flinch, map design, movement speed, perk sets, they all come together to define how a Call of Duty plays. Now, Modern Warfare is going to be campier. It's going to be slower because they're ditching the linear designated lane map design of the Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare era, and they're returning to the messier map designs that are more like Call of Duty Ghosts, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 1, some elements of Black Ops 1. I've made my opinions on this map design very clear. I prefer it, I just generally do. Even if a map is annoying, or even if multiple maps are annoying, they're different. When you build each map to be different and to play different and to have a different pace and different range of engagement and different play styles and classes required, the game becomes more replayable. But of course, when you do this, you leave an area open for campers. You leave an area open for somebody to post up in a window with a sniper rifle and hit you from long distance before you can react, and you're punished for moving out into the open. If the maps aren't forcing engagements, you have a wider variety of engagements to face, and man, if that's just not the saddest thing. Sniper spots aren't directly symmetrical to other sniper spots, there's long stretches of land which require a smoke grenade if you're going to cross it, and multi-leveled buildings with lots of doors and windows, and in Modern Warfare you can close those doors, and there's just a lot of variety there. I'm not saying it's all good and it won't ever frustrate me, I'm just saying there's a lot of variety to deal with. The thing is I can't take complaints about campers seriously. I just can't. There's literally gameplay playing right now where me and my friends are going up against a team of sweaty players. Call it skill-based matchmaking, call it whatever you want. They kicked our asses in the first game, and we stayed in the lobby, and luckily the lobby didn't disband like a lot of the beta lobbies were doing. This one actually stayed in, and I thought, you know what, we're gonna give these guys a run for their money. And in this gameplay, you'll see me doing the most boneheaded camping maneuver without even a class that should be able to pull off said camping maneuver. On this class, I don't have Ghost, I have Hardline, and I don't have the perk that makes me resistant to tactical grenades like Battle Hardened. I have, I believe, Amplified so I can switch my weapons faster. And then I have not EOD, not the perk that actually keeps me from getting blown up, I have Overkill so I can have a shotgun with my MP5. It is a fuck around class, and I was enjoying using it during the beta. I used it because I enjoy it. What I didn't expect was a team of enemies so incompetent as to feed me 2 VTOLs and basically hand us the game. No one on their team decided they should use a grenade. You might think, well, boom, maybe they didn't have a grenade. Well, the game allows for mid-class customization, which a lot of people are in favor for, so I've chosen not to die on the hill of preparation versus adaptation. So who cares, right? So why did none of them switch to a class with a frag grenade, C4, or a launcher? Why did nobody concussion the hell out of this room and storm me before I was able to get 7 kills without dying? Seriously, 7 kills isn't like a lot, but it's a lot to have in one life from the position that I was in. I don't have an optimal camping setup here. I don't have the perfect class for this. If someone on the enemy team enters a room outside your gimme flag without any streaks and leaves with a 7 streak and turns the tide of the game, that's on you. If you know that person's in there, and they call in a streak, that's not because, oh no, the map design. No, he's camping. That's a terrible strategy. It's ruining the game. You didn't deal with me. I just know that these people bitched about me camping. I just know that they were on the other side of the mic. I mean, I would bitch about it. The thing is I also would seek to counter it. Modern Warfare is an interesting beast. We actually have unique map design. We can customize our classes mid-game. There's not really a lot of excuses for letting this happen. In fact, while you guys are watching this, try to point out one reason that's wrong with the game. Not the enemy team, not me, the game. Blame the game for what's happening here in some way, shape, or form. I'll hear you out, but I don't think you'll be able to come up with a reason that the game is at fault here. It's not the map design, it's not the game, it's not my fault for doing it. It's their fault. They kicked our ass last game. They're not bad players. They didn't know how to adapt to somebody sitting still and saying, come at me. Last night while private matching in Call of Duty Ghosts with my buddies, I was able to get a battle hind by sitting in the castle on Stonehaven. They complained about it later too. Well, it was mostly in all good fun, but they were irritated that the match was so lopsided. When you do a free-for-all with your friend and you have 11 kills, your friend has 10 kills, and the person that won is your friend with 30 kills, it's a little bit annoying. The thing is that they didn't think to counter me, and I'm sorry, Dylan, or Jingles, if you're watching this video. I'm sorry. I'm not calling you bad. I'm not calling even my enemies bad. I'm saying the failure to adapt is obvious. When you play Call of Duty Ghosts or Modern Warfare 2, you need to have a class set up for if somebody is just sitting in a room killing your teammates. Noob tubes, C4, frag grenades, Simtex grenades, concussions, flashbangs, gas grenades, smoke grenades, EMP grenades, something, distort them in some way. Fire and forget a rocket into their camping ground. You have to have something prepared for this. If you're not willing to prepare for somebody playing the map to their advantage, then you don't deserve to be listened to when complaining about complex map design, because all I see is somebody that can't adapt to complexity, not the map's problem with campers. Because the complexity's here, but it's subtle. See, this game isn't forcing engagements. I'm not at a disadvantage for sitting down and playing slow. This building gives me some advantages, some exit routes, and some different places to be when they come in to kill me. It kind of reminds me almost of that top middle building in the Black Ops 2 map, Yemen, which I actually personally really like that map because of that top middle building. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It has multiple entry points, but it's also kind of easy to defend, and it gives you a vantage point. It also makes me think of Estate from Modern Warfare 2. Estate is an amazing map because you can lock down the middle building, and that's super fun and good, but at the same time, one person with a noob tube and half decent aim will take you out of your camping spot before you can really get to enjoy it. You have to embrace the fact that the game is giving you a challenge and then giving you the tools to deal with it. Adapting is the entire thing that makes Call of Duty fun. That's why Create a Class is so pivotal in each game. That's why when Call of Duty World War II simplified the Create a Class system, a lot of people hated it. Or at least didn't like it, or were most indifferent to it. Not many people prefer simpler class creation, because it limits the ways you can adapt. Now, when you simplify Call of Duty down to 3-lane forced engagements, you don't need to adapt too much. You can kind of skimp on customization, because there's not much to account for. Everything's symmetrical and linear and well laid out. There's maybe only 2 spots per map that are kind of a head scratcher for most players with 3 IQ. You know, whatever. And I know I sound condescending, but I just can't imagine how many people are out there that can't deal with campers and continue to die by them. The number of people not willing to switch to a class with a frag grenade is staggering. Now, it's intellectually dishonest for me to say that the people that couldn't take me out of this bathroom are the same people bitching about camping. They might have just been absent-mindedly talking to their friends and didn't realize that I was going on such a streak. Fair enough. But this video isn't about why camping is okay. Well, it kind of is, but for the most part, what I'm trying to illustrate to you guys is that this is what can happen to your matches when you play Modern Warfare if you're not paying attention to the kill feed. You're not paying attention to how you died. If you die from somebody in a bathroom camping with an MP5 named Boom, and you go, oh shit, that's annoying, and then you see on the kill feed that Boom killed 3-4 more people, you go, 1, 2, 3, that's 5. That's a 5 kill streak. And if you'd been playing the beta for longer than an hour, you probably noticed that a 5 kill streak gives you a precision airstrike. 3 more kills and I'm calling in a VTOL, but I had hardlines, so that's another thing. I was able to get a UAV at 3, a precision airstrike at 4, and a VTOL at 7. It is not hard to get 7 kills without dying if an enemy team is unwilling to throw frags, flashes, and get you out of your foxhole. If my strategy of sit here and get a kill streak didn't pan out, we would have lost this match. Whatever, it's losing a match, it's winning a match in Call of Duty public match, it's not the biggest deal. I'm just saying you're gonna have a lot more fun if you plan for these types of people instead of complain about them. So before I end this video, let's give a couple more examples. Back when I used to private match against Exclusive Ace, occasionally we used to do maps exposed, we try to find map spots, and we get into little tussles and see who could win occasionally. It wasn't often, but the only thing I learned from those engagements is that he is much better at staying on target than I am. So what I decided to do was use sniper rifles and the railgun pistol, and that allowed me to take him out because I could land my first shot but not my next 4. So if I can land my first shot, why not just switch to something that only needs 1? No matter how fast you are, if you get hit once by a one-shot kill weapon, you're done. It didn't always work, but I felt like I found a solution to my being bad problem, at least when versing him. I didn't have to win a gunfight, I just needed to land 1 shot. And anytime there's an irritating quickscoper on the enemy team when I'm playing Call of Duty anymore, I just make sure I have a class, and now I can just customize this on the fly in Modern Warfare, but make sure I have concussion grenades and smoke grenades. Quickscopers are good, but they still have to be able to see, and they need to be able to aim. Quickscopers master the timing of ADS shoot, ADS shoot. And if I'm constantly barraging them with concussion grenades, even if they have tac mask, the little bit of disorientation they get from getting hit by those stuns will throw them off most of the time. Also, I noticed most novice quickscope players, the ones that aren't incredibly hyper lethal, they're really bad at adjusting to somebody that's crouched or prone or head glitching. And I don't blame them, the weapon's not meant for those types of engagements, and by golly, you can remind them of that. You know, there's a quickscoper coming around the corner because you just saw him on the minimap killing your friend. Lay down. And a lot of times, if you're at the right range, you'll either be an awkward target up close, or you'll be a harder to hit target at a distance. In Black Ops 3, I noticed that, you know, if somebody's being really aggressive and fast, which is scary to go against in advanced Call of Duty games, someone that's fast and accurate. At the time, I didn't have an elite controller or a scuff controller, so I couldn't keep up with all the crazy aerial movements and accuracy required. So what I did is I would just put landmines everywhere and shock charges. I just lace the fucking map with them, essentially. My friend would use riot shields in Black Ops 2 to fight rushers, because somebody that's really good at like playing competitively and, you know, jump and drop shotting around corners with the MSMC in Black Ops 2 kind of has to stop and think when there's somebody crouched in front of them with a riot shield, and then I would usually clean up the kill, or my friend would use fast hands, switch to a shotgun, and blow the guy away. I'm not saying that certain playstyles aren't annoying and certain things shouldn't be balanced and fixed, but there's also things you can do to counter them. Campy players are annoying, but I mean, you can be annoyed by them while feeding them a kill streak, or you can, you know, adapt. And that's what this video is about. I'm not saying that everyone that's against camping can't deal with it. I'm not saying that you're all dumb. I'm not saying that if you like linear maps, your opinion is somehow less valid. I'm saying to those people that this isn't your comfort zone, and that requires some learning and some adaptation. And honestly, go on Twitter and bitch about camping all you want. I'll keep sitting in bathrooms seeing how many times someone's gonna come in and feed me an easy kill. We'll see what happens. The absolute truth you can take away from this video is that I won. See you when I see you guys. Goodbye.
Just stay with my seat next to buildings, make sure they don't get in. You know, they highlighted for you. Tell me where they're at. Are they in that gas station? God damn.